All right, guys, so this is going to be the existing HVAC system that we're currently looking at. I'm going to try and get as much space as I can get for you guys right here. We're looking at a 23 and a half wide cabinet. It's huge. It's a 100,000 B2 furnace with, I believe it's a 4-ton fan. It might be a 5, but I believe it's a 4-ton based off the model number I pulled up. We also have a 3-ton AC unit that's running the whole thing. The coil, I can't tell what size it is because it's built in. I'm not going to rip off that panel, which is a pain in the butt to service anyways. And that could be actually a big reason why they don't have airflow running through there when they run the AC. But we do have the gas line right here, which you can see the shut off, the existing pump out. And the guy that lived here before them was kind of a DIY guy. And you guys are probably already going to be noticed with this. I was kind of alarmed. You got metal exhausting with plastic exhaust. Horrible. So that will need to change. This runs, I believe, all the way up through the chimney, and he just ran it together. We're going to need to reroute that. And trying to figure out where we're going to reroute that. I'll probably do another video for that section, just because there's not a lot. This is a split level kind of house setup where it comes down. This is the bottom level, so the basement, but it's got another level up above. You kind of have access up here, which I feel like that's going to be really hard to get into because you have all the pipes. And then we have just this for this guy. We might... I hope we don't need to convert it over to an 80%. I might actually ask Greg on this to get a little bit more clarity. But they have this existing cold air return, which kind of has some spots. You can see some cuts, some holes where they're just missing. If we can go ahead and seal that up so there's not any excess dirt, dust flying through the system, that'd be ideal. Pulling from this room. This system is a 23.5 by 73 up into this run. This main supply trunk line is a 10 by 28, it's huge. And then it kind of forks over from here over to the actual kind of main trunk line, which feeds, I believe, the rest of the house. What's that cat doing? But we also, once we come in here, this is something we want to address as well. So this room gets uncomfortably very, very hot and uncomfortably very, very cold because it's just pulling off that huge, gigantic vent. If we can kind of either reduce that down, kind of either put a damper in there if we can, it's going to be a little bit harder to do, but we'll need to go ahead and kind of take this assembly out, see how we're doing up there, and see if we can get probably a bigger sized vent that's a little bit more controllable, and possibly put a damper in on here to kind of just not push as much airflow out here. That's kind of what we're looking to do for that. You guys should be able to just tear this down. I believe this is just, yeah, some drywall and everything. So that's going to be something we want to address. Shouldn't be too hard for that, just to combat that. And we want to see if we can put this thing on a base can with a filter rack on the bottom. The filter access is going to be right in here. This is a cold air return, that ductwork that you guys are looking at right now. We want to put in probably a 20 by 25 by 1. It might change to a 16 by 25 by 1 that it has in kind of now, but that's roughly where we're wanting to put that at. It's got 2-inch PVC, which it's going to need to change. And then the humidifier was a DIY'd as well, and we'll see if we can keep that for them. I don't think they care too much either way, but it has a humidistat, so we'll just kind of keep everything there for them. And then you have the pump out. So that's kind of everything. So quite a lot of stuff.